Hey, what is up everybody, and welcome to week 2 of season 3 of the SBL. This week we are up against Arctus and his new team name, the Arctic Arcanines, which I have to say he probably has the single best logo in the league, beside my own. No, I'm just kidding. That logo is sick. But anywho, I'm not going to waste any time today, we're just going to go ahead and get straight into the matchup. As you can see, Arctus' team here. He's got a Ferrothorn over there, which is my Ferroseed's father, I think it was a girl in this battle? I don't remember. Anyways, it's super annoying, and part of the reason why Moltres is here. He's got a Lando-I, which I do believe is Sand Force only, so none of that Sheer Force Lando shenanigans. Which, hey, we both have a Lando, so that's cool. There's a Togekiss there, which we all know what Togekiss does, as we actually had that last SBL season, you know, the one that died. We all know what this thing does. It's Splint shenanigans, it's setup, it's whatever you want it to be, really. It's got a Latios there, and that thing's pretty strong. I have it in another league right now, and it's doing pretty well for me. It's mostly a special attacker, but can run a Heat Dragon Dance set, or it can be like a supporty set, or whatever you want it to be, really. It's got a Gyarados there, and that is a Mega Gyarados, believe it or not. Let's see, Jumbo Shrimp, as we call it. It's mostly a Dragon Dancey thing, but it can be kind of bulky. It has actually very good bulk. Used it before, it's alright. And then the other thing that we had last season, Arcanine. Which, yeah, it could be physical or special, it can be supporty, it can be super offensive, it can do whatever you need it to do. So yeah, there's Arctus' team. The rest of the team he did not bring. He did not bring the Umbreon, which I'm super glad about. He didn't bring Magneton, which I didn't forget to mention this time. He did not bring Xatu, which we saw last season as well. He did not bring Combuskin, and he did not bring Registeel, which is totally okay with me. In general, this was actually kind of... This was kind of a tough matchup for me on paper, so... This team that you see on my side here is actually getting difficult for me to build with. So yeah, there's that. So let's go ahead and get into what I brought. This is a 3 attacks Life Orb Moltres. And the non-attacking move being Will-O-Wisp, which we do see in this battle a couple of times, because I figure Moltres might be forcing switches looking at you, Ferrothorn. We had a mixed defensive P2 here, making his Diancie United debut. We have a 3 attacks Bulk Up Mega Gallade with no attack investment. What? Because I was gonna hope to rely on Bulk Up, but we'll see if that happens in this battle. We have a Scarf Lando-T, but not just any Scarf Lando-T. A Scarf Special Lando-T. And yeah, the reason I did that is because he has an Arcanine there, and a Gyarados, both of which are very likely to have Intimidate, so I figured, they probably switch into Lando pretty easily, so there's no point in me running, a physical set. We got a support attack for Koko this week with Dual Screens and Defog. Yeah, that's Koko for you. And we have kind of the same kind of Jealous that we had last week, and that is just meant to sponge some hits and then do some other things. But anywho, let's just go ahead and get straight on into the battle. I decided to lead off with my Lando here, as he actually leads off with his own Lando. Oh, Lando versus Lando. And we both revealed to be Scarf and have HP Ice, except mine just happens to get a crit and kill him. Which was really lame, but didn't really impact much later in the battle. Then he goes into his Latios, he shows Dragon Dance, ooh. And I kind of expect him to go with the Dragonium Z when I made this switch, so I just went ahead and went to Koko. I was like, hey, you want to pop off that Dragonium Z on my Jellicent? So it's just like, okay, Koko could do some things, but then he pulled a cool double into his Ferrothorn, which, you know, that's the easy switch into my Jellicent. And then, of course, my only attacking move just so happens to be U-Turn, which is actually a double-edged sword because it does hurt me, but it lets me get into my Moltres for free, as he sets up his Stealth Rocks as I expected, and then as you can kind of tell there, I went for the Will-O-Wisp expecting the switch, but Arctus just decided to have Balls of Steel here, and he stayed in with his thing 4 times weak to fire on my Life Orb Fire type. Freaking legend right there, man. As I burn him as he sets up a Leech Seed, and I was just like, okay, is he gonna stay in now? I think I go for the Flamethrower this turn as he switched into Arcanine. I could have gone for Ancient Power here, maybe gotten Gamboosh, but wasn't worth it. As yeah, he's sapping up my health with Leech Seed as I go into P2 to trace his Intimidate. And what does he do? I think he just crunches, expecting my Jellicent switch, which is a very good prediction on his part, I must say. And then I tried a Toxic, but of course he has a Ferrothorn that can switch to that every single time, so Dylan's kind of useless, and yeah, a lot of this battle was mostly just mind games, if I'm being honest. And he knocked off my Light Clay, which was very rude. because like I wanted the screens up, and then I ended up setting up those. No, I defogged first, and then I set up my screens as he missed the leech seed, and then proceeded to try to knock off a couple more times, hoping to get in my Moltres, I believe. But yeah, RNG happens sometimes, and then he just keeps trying to knock off, as I think I eventually U-turn here, and I don't think he actually knocks off. I go into Gallade, which is disappointing that he didn't knock off, because then I got a Justified boost, but what can you do? He goes into his best switch into my thingy here, as I just go straight for knockoff, which, you know, it had a Citrus Berry. Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, this Arcanine ends up proving to be pretty much of a problem, because I don't remember if I could tell during the battle whether or not this was a, like, excuse me, an offensive set or a defensive set, but that comes into play later in this battle, as you'll see, as I go into my Tapu Koko, as he just burns me, which is kind of lame, and kind of makes my Tapu Koko useless. And he's just able to switch into Ferrothorn every single time on my Tapu Koko, which is really lame on my part for not preparing for that better. Then he goes into Latios as I U-turn. It's like, okay, I can play some shenanigans here. As I U-turn again, as he reveals to not be Scarfed himself. And that was honestly the part where I kind of wished that I would have been a physical Lando, because that probably would have killed him. But instead, as you can tell on the screen, he kills himself with Memento. As I switch in my Jellicent, which lets him get this monster in for free and start setting up, because there's not much I can do. I mean, in this play here, I ended up switching out of Jellicent because I figured this thing could have Substitute, and if he does, that means my Will-O-Wisp is kind of useless. So that's why I ended up switching out instead of trying to go for any of those Will-O-Wisp shenanigans. What am I going to P2 to get off the Intimidate? That's right. P2's getting off Intimidates left and right here, as he sets up a Dragon Dance. Scary, scary. And of course he Mega Evolves, predicting my, what's it called? That move. Which was very smart of him to Mega Evolve there, and Dylan takes a huge hit and gets off another Thunderbolt, but it's not enough to kill it, so I end up sacking my Koko here because I didn't really see much use for it left in this game. And then I go into Lando to try to intimidate it, and then I pull a double back out Jellicent as he waterfalls again, and that's when I realized, oh wait, I have the wrong ability. And I meant to have Water Absorb, but oh well, he was going to kill me with Crunch regardless. Then I get in my Gallade, as I know I can live a neutral Crunch, or Waterfall, well they're the same base power, and then I kill it off with a Drain Punch. So now right here, I have to talk about this play right here. This Togekiss here, had I known it was not Choice Scarf, I would have stayed in and just killed it with Thunder Punch. Or, I don't know if it would have killed necessarily, but it would have done a ton of damage. Yeah, but I ended up switching out because I was fearing the Choice Scarf. But what ends up happening ends up being a lot worse for me in the long haul, as the move he clicks is, wait for it, Tailwind. Now, that ends up making this thing a huge threat, because not only can it outspeed my entire team now, yeah, it can outspeed my entire team, it can switch up its moves too, which means, like, well, not like I had a flying resist left anyway, so, well, because my Koko was dead, and I couldn't do anything to it anyway, but I digress. This man, it could just kill my things with Air Slash left and right, or flinch him to death, and he shows the Life Orb, which makes it even worse. So my next hope is Moltres, and of course, because this thing's Serene Grace, I flinch, which, that's what Togekiss does. I'm not going to be salty about that. No, there's no reason. And then I just try to get off more damage, hoping he wouldn't click the button again, and he doesn't click the button, and my Lando goes down to Hidden Power, which he probably didn't need to use, but he didn't want to risk the miss, and now I do what I should have done in the first place and kill it with Thunder Punch. But by this point, he's still got this Arcanine, and the second he clicks Will-O-Wisp, I'm doomed. Pretty much. But he pulled kind of a weird move there into his Ferrothorn, but at the end of the day, I see why he did it. As I get up a Bulk Up, I believe he gets up a Leech Seed, and that's pretty much it for me. So at this point, a comeback's not looking likely for me, especially with him being able to switch this thing in left and right. I can try to heal back HP, but like, at the end of the day, it's not going to be enough. As he's able to live another Drain Punch and get off the finisher for me. Yeah, at this point, all I can hope for is some more RNG in my favor, but like, that's not that wouldn't be the right thing to do, as he lives with -1 HP, which is just wonderful. As more switch shenanigans happen, and he's going to end this battle with the Ferrothorn as I heal some HP, but then take some Iron Bars, and then the Leech Seed and the Burn is enough to finish me off. And yes, you guys just witnessed a rare thing in SBL here. I lost. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, this was actually a very, very tricky matchup for me on paper, so while I am disappointed that I lost, I'm not surprised. And kind of looking back on it, at the same time of being disappointed that I lost, I'm kind of glad about it. Because like, oh yeah, the SBL is improving around you, the competition's not as easy as it used to be, or easy as you thought it was going to be. I mean, it wasn't really easy in the first place, because it's not like I finished the first season undefeated, unlike somebody who plays an Omega. But anywho, that was kind of the wake-up call I needed to be like, oh, yeah, this is not going to be a cakewalk for me. Like, I did want to start the SBL back up, hoping that it would restore a little bit of confidence in me, but like, this kind of reignited my fire for the SBL. It was like, yeah, I'm going to have to show my opponents more respect than this, and Arctus being the Season 1 champion, of course I should have shown him the respect, and I did, because like, the original version of my team had Nihilego over Moltres, but then I was like, wait a second. He has 3 steel types, 2 of which are physical based, which, if y'all don't know about Nihilego, the thing's super, super physically frail, so it's like, there's no point in even bringing Nihilego. So I put Moltres on, but looking back on it, I wish I'd have had Nihilego, because it would have done some damage to that Arcanine, it would have done some damage to that Togekiss, and life would have been happier. But, and again, that's hindsight. Hindsight's the best teacher. Anywho, we take a loss, oh well. Happens, we just have to pick ourselves up and move on to next week. And next week we will be facing off against ACAT, one of our returning coaches, so look forward to that, and I'll see you guys next time.